What does finding your purpose look like? I used to think it's this big dramatic event, maybe discovering and inventing something, maybe even finding your dream job, or becoming rich and famous, a public persona. But I realized over time that some of these moments where you find purpose are a lot more quiet. Sometimes it comes down to those small moments in your day that bring you joy. So in this video, I want to explore this a little bit with you. Think about my own journey, my own purpose. Have I found my purpose? And for you too, maybe you found yours. Maybe you're still on the way of discovering it. So let's explore. Let's dive into it. So back to those small moments of joy. It's like when you start something new and you have that childlike wonder. You're discovering, you're exploring, you're having fun. Or think about those moments where you help someone. You help them solve something, or you help them be resourceful and find something that they're looking for. And they let you know that they're appreciative, they're grateful, they thank you, and you feel like you made a difference. I think if you're on your journey here on YouTube and you're starting a channel, there's a lot of those elements that are part of that experience. Discovering the platform, figuring out how you want to show up on the platform. What are you going to talk about? Learning new skills, learning the technical aspect, but also the aspect of discovering your audience and learning about them, building relationships, building those connections. And when you post a video and someone comments and tells you that they really enjoyed it and thank you for making that video, there's purpose in that. These moments, even if they're very small, I think they drop clues and they help guide the way and help us clarify what our purpose is in this world. Traveling has broadened my perspective of this and has taught me this even more. So take, for example, spending time in the Caribbean. Life moves differently there. People take time, people slow down. And that's the part of the reasons why people leave North America, many of these developing countries where the pace is so fast. Everyone is grinding, things are moving so quickly. So many people go to the Caribbean, whether it's on vacation or to retire and slow things down in life. They go there to take advantage of time, to slow down, to enjoy things. And the locals, this is how they live. They take pride in so many of the things that we just rush past in our day-to-day life. Things we take for granted, like preparing a meal, eating the meal. How many times are we eating lunch at our desk or grabbing something quickly on the way out in the morning for breakfast, as opposed to sitting down and actually savoring and enjoying our meals, having a conversation over the meal? And what about sunsets? How many times do we miss the sunset? Maybe we see it in passing, but how many times do we actually stop and wait to see the sun get below the horizon? These things seem like luxuries, but they're really just basic day-to-day things that we have at our disposal, things that can bring us joy that sometimes we don't take advantage of. As simple as they seem, these are the things that bring meaning into our lives. These are the things that help crystallize our purpose here on earth. Spending time with people, enjoying small moments, being available to help someone. So related to this, there's a story that stuck with me. I have a family member who recently came back from the Caribbean and brought various types of food. So think of curry, roti, doubles. If you're familiar with Trinidad or some of the islands in the Caribbean that have these types of food that are influenced by Indian culture, one of the things brought back was doubles. So in asking about it, where was it purchased? Who was it purchased from? I learned that it was purchased from a woman who has a very small shop set up next to the harbor. Her setup is very low key, very narrow booth that she has. It's not this big store, but it's accessible. She has food that people are interested in and want. It tastes good. I was asked, how does it taste? And it was great. It had the traditional flavor of doubles. It also had some tamarind in it. So it had a little bit of that savory flavor plus the sweetness of the tamarind. So here we are now enjoying the doubles thousands of miles away from someone who decided to set up a shop and show up every day to make the doubles and sell it to people who are interested in purchasing it. And all the while having that consistency of a small business, having a way to talk to people as they come up to the shop and make their purchase and build connections with those people, because you can imagine some of them come back time and time again. And I would also imagine that this is something that brings this woman joy. And thinking about this more broadly, in my experience, traveling to different places, traveling to the Caribbean, I've seen so many people set up shop on the beach because you have the locals coming, you have tourists coming, and whether it's food that's being prepared, people are renting out chairs or umbrellas, jet skis. These are all ways that people are showing up to make a contribution to the world, to help people, to engage with them. I had a time where I was visiting the Caribbean with a good friend of mine, and someone came up, started a conversation, and he had a small business of doing tours around the island. So after talking to him, he showed us his website. We got to see some reviews. We ended up hiring him to do a tour around the island the next day. So it's really in those small moments that you find that people are doing things, people are showing up to find their way of contributing to the world and adding value and connecting with people and doing things that bring them joy. So this makes me rethink and reflect on what purpose should actually look like. Because I feel like we get sold this idea that purpose has to look a certain way and it has to be big and bold. But what if it really comes down to these small moments? What if purpose is about showing up for the people around you, showing up for people who need you? What if purpose means using your voice in a way that makes a difference? Using your voice to share something real? What if it's creating, exploring, reflecting, similar to what I'm doing here on YouTube and what many of you are doing as well? If that's the case, how do we go about finding our purpose? How do I find mine? How do you find yours? I think it comes down to starting with these basic questions that we can ask ourselves. What makes you light up? What makes you feel the most alive? What things do you do that make you lose track of time? And what do people thank you for without you even realize that you are helping? If I think about this for myself and different things that I've done, for example, running long distance, completing different races. I've had people tell me that it's inspired them to sign up for a race or start running themselves. I enjoy traveling, including solo travel. I've had people tell me that they find it courageous to step into the world and step into the unknown by myself. And it's encouraged them to take trips and do something similar. I've created content, held webinars, done talks, been on different panels, all because I love sharing information and I love seeing people thrive with new knowledge. After some of those sessions, people have walked up to say that they really loved and enjoy the information. They love the presentation, and it's given them tactical things that they can implement in their own lives and in their own careers. I've stepped outside of the box to take on different responsibilities, pivot my career, do different things in the business world, in technology. And doing this as a woman, as a Black woman, it's inspired a lot of people in this space who have come forward to hear my story and have sought guidance and mentorship to learn from some of my lessons. I love nature. I love spending time outside, and that's led me to taking on some awesome hikes, enjoying sunsets. And this has inspired others to slow down, to explore, step outside of the comfort zone, step outside of their cities even. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What are some things that seem very small that others have been really receptive to, where people have told you that they're grateful for it, grateful for your time, grateful for your knowledge, grateful for the information that you've shared with them or how you've helped them? Taking these small actions can help us build that foundation, and we can continue to build from there. Continue to explore, try different things, see if they light you up. Go down that list of questions I asked earlier and put the pieces together. I don't think we get clarity around purpose all at once. I really do think it takes time. It's moment by moment, experience by experience, location by location, and person by person that we have the ability to impact and influence. So if you're still on your journey to figure out your own purpose, don't feel behind. So many people don't take the time to explore this, or they don't even know that they need to take the time to explore this or how to go about doing this. But I think it's, again, in those small moments that you can pay attention. If there's something that's been speaking to you, speaking to your heart, speaking to your soul, something you've wanted to do, carve out some time and try to do it. What that looks like for me is if an idea comes into my mind and it occurs over and over again, I know that means it's time for me to try it. I don't like having ideas come to me over and over again and I don't take the action. It's something that leads me to regret, and I don't like living a life of regret. So do what you can to listen to yourself, build your self-awareness, explore, Build your database of things that you've done so that you can say, okay, I like this one, I didn't like this one. And by having the experience, you can weed out which ones make sense to you and which ones don't. I think all of these different proof points can help you get closer to your purpose. Going through this thought process in this video, I've realized that purpose can look different for different people, and it can look different depending on where you are. If we define purpose as something that is associated with status and access and resources and money, that limits people in different parts of the world who don't have access to those things as easily. So I don't think we want to say that purpose has to mean exactly what we've been told that it needs to mean in large developing countries. Because by definition, if that's what we're saying, that means people in smaller countries, people in the Caribbean, don't have access to purpose. And I don't believe that's true. I don't think you do either. So I think we can look at the different examples of how people are finding purpose, how they're finding meaning in their day, and learn from that. Use that to embed into our own process so that we can get that clarity that we're all looking for, the meaning of life, the purpose, why we're here, so that we can operate in a space that makes us feel like we are living a fulfilled life, a life of purpose. We're helping others, we're spending time with people, we're making connections, all of those things. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love to hear from you in the comments where you are on your journey with purpose, if it's something that you've already discovered, or if this inspires you to embark on that journey and get clarity around what purpose means to you. If this is your first time here, watch another video before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.